G'day guys, and welcome to another NY update video. Welcome to the channel, by the way, for those of you who have just subscribed. Just started my new channel recently. I look forward to having you on board. Our live streams will start up probably sometime in March, guys. So just to keep you guys posted, and make sure to follow me on IG as well as a link to that down below in the description. Now, moving forward, guys, let's have a look at NY. I hope you had a good London session. For me, I took a trade on a GJ. I took a trade as this candle flipped back bearish. Held for a little bit of drawdown. Didn't quite have enough to secure as the candle broke below the previous candle at that point there. I'm trying to hold on trades a little bit longer, sorry, these days. And eventually pulled back into a little bit of drawdown, only to eventually pop back down. And I secured half at just around 17, 18 pips and closed out the other half not long later at this support. So it was a good trade in the end. It's been a really good start personally for me. Haven't been trading much, been working away in the background at a few other things, but so far so good. So yeah, but without further ado, let's have a look. So the analysis as per the London market update video was to look for sells below this resistance, which eventually presented. Similar scenario just now. However, the more data we print within this area, the more choppy it becomes, the more difficult trading becomes. So let's look at a daily. Now, the daily, within it, we formed the high, we formed a low, we formed support at the low on a minor time frame, we formed resistance at the high. Below the support, there's not much clean traffic. We run straight into the 4-hour support, so it's going to make it difficult, I feel, to look for sells from that point as we begin to break the current daily candle's low. However, above that current daily candle's high, we will be breaking and closing at our 1 closure, be breaking and closing above the resistance form within the current daily candle. And also what we're doing is, I'm going to pull up a trend line for the time being. I know it's subjective, you can draw it in, connect it to whatever you want, bodies, wicks, whatever. But what we can see here is we're creating some higher lows. Potentially if we pop back above, obviously if we close above, we'll then be creating a higher high. That point there are going to be options, I feel, to look for a buy above that 188.40 sort of region. Now, as for the sell options, now I would prefer at this stage, seeing it's just consolidating, likely want to see price pop up, grab some more liquidity from the upside, reject that 188.80 psychological round number, so look for your potential sells from higher up. If we make a move down just now, come close to 10Y, we pull back towards that 188.20 sort of level. Once again, that also would still be for me a valid sell zone as well. Further sell options, yeah, I don't see much at the moment. I'd just rather wait. Let's see the 4-hour counter probabilities. Just, yeah, not much direction at all. Obviously, it's just still consolidating. Just be patient with it. Moving on to have a look at gold. So the analysis, the London session analysis, for the few of you who probably watched it, was looking for buys above this point here. One price to pull back to that level, form a support. We have done so, but there's just been no confirmation to take any entry. Potential confirmation would have been this candle here, closing above the consolidation, which is what I mentioned on the London update video, but there would never have been an entry because this candle never ended up flipping back bullish. So no entry for me on gold. I don't really see much at the moment. Again, it's just no clear direction. The plan for me would be the same as pre-London. So now I'll be waiting for either to pop below 2020.50 for a strong closure below it. We've broken the current daily candle's low, but if we close below that point there, we're going to start closing below the support form at the current daily candle's low. And I feel that point there is potential room for us to drop further down, eventually down towards that 2009 sort of level, which is the next 4-hour support to the left-hand side. Now, as for the buys, yeah, I don't really see much at the moment. I'd rather just wait, let it create a clean move, maybe retest this resistance, pull back, and then start to pop above it. And if you've got enough margin, you'd be looking for potential entries above that 2027 sort of level. I just don't see that much for the buys at the moment, other than maybe the closure above 2031.15 roughly. Again, that is resistance formed within the current daily candle. It is the current daily candle's high, just above that level. So if we begin to pop above it, seeing we've pulled back, form support at the current daily candle's low just now. If we do begin to pop above, come MY, just maybe close towards MYSE, that could be potential buy zones above. Otherwise, look for rejections to sell it. Let's quickly look at NAS now. I'm going to bother with GU. All right, so let's take a look at NAS. So again, it's just a heavy area consolidation. Exact same analysis applies as to pre-London, the video update. Now what we've got with NAS, let me look at it quickly on a wonder. It hasn't opened up with a gap. So what we can see in the current daily count, it is in an overall huge uptrend now. It's just been on an absolute tear to the upside. Now let's look at the daily. The daily has not got a lower wick. We have a higher low, higher high to the previous. If we are to continue bullish, any pullback within this candle should be met by support on the minor time frames before we head back up to potentially retest the high and create a higher high. Now if we begin to break below the low of the current daily candle, which we have no need to pull back and break our own low, then there's a high probability at that point there that we may either A, pull down to grab a little bit more liquidity, which is going to go back to this chart, pull back to grab a little bit more liquidity. Where can we potentially pull back to? Well, around the 50% that previous daily candle. At that point there, as long as we begin to form a support above it, so it's around at 17160, and we can argue that perhaps that's going to be the lowest point for the new weekly candle, and we could potentially form a support around that level before on the minor time frames. Look for a bit of structure to form for us to head back up towards the current weekly candles high, the previous weekly candles high. The current weekly candles high. Now, however, if we pull back also to around that current daily candle open and form a support around that 17,345 sort of level, I'd also look for a buy above that level, as I've got marked in just here. Now, however, if we begin to reject, we do have some 4-hour candle probabilities down to the downside. If the current 4-hour candle closes a significantly strong bearish candle, and we begin on the new candle, so let's say it's the closure of the current 4-hour, new candle pulls back, creates upper wick, forms a resistance. There's going to be options to start selling it from higher up. In anticipation, we're going to make a deeper correction, deeper pullback to grab some more liquidity within the current weekly candle before we potentially form a support to head back up in line with that previous weekly candle. So at that point there, I'm playing with confidences such as the 4-hour candle probabilities. And again, in anticipation that we could pull back and likely retest and break the low of the current daily candle before we head back down to form a support lower down to potentially head back up further. Yes, you're probably thinking it's due for a pullback. However, it does not need to. We won't know until we actually have the confirmation. And really, the strongest confirmation this stage would be a strong bearish candle closure on the daily. So that's how I'd be trading NAS, guys. That's just a quick MY update. You'll be getting these videos regularly for the time being. Actually, not really. I'll be off over back to Thailand as of next Tuesday. But up until then anyway. But make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, guys. I'll be dropping a lot of educational content shortly. There'll be a lot of YouTube shorts to be added to the channel. Also, make sure to follow on IG, be updating with regular IG stories and reels. So I look forward to seeing you guys around shortly. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.